The number one principle that will get you more athletic than everyone else around you, than 99% of people, is going to be sprinting. By the way, real quickly, for those of y'all that don't already know, athletic means to be a mix of athletic and aesthetic, because we're creating a new wave out here. Simple as that. We're about to take over. Now, here's the issue with sprinting nowadays, is that a lot of people think that sprinting is just going outside and running. I think it's just running a whole bunch till you get tired and whatnot. And that's if you're a normie. If you want to be like the 99% of people, then by all means, go ahead and go do that. But I'm about to put y'all on some real game over here. Because understand, the stuff I'm about to tell you is exactly what I use to craft my physique, play D1 football, and build my business. So in this video, I'm literally just going to tell you why sprinting is so important. And I'm also going to tell you exactly how to start sprinting the right way so that you can get the most results and actually get fast, because that's the whole point of sprinting. Let's go. Now, before we go any further, y'all probably want to know exactly what sprinting is. It's literally just to run as fast as possible. I would say fastest, but I'm not trying to get demonetized again, because YouTube be getting mad at me, but y'all get the point. Literally, sprinting is just to run as fast as possible. And why is this so important? Because look, I'm gonna tell y'all how. Don't worry, I got y'all. But first, let's go over why sprinting is so important, because there's a few very important reasons. So the first reason, like we already went over, is like, look, we're trying to get athletic. We're trying to get a mix between athletic and aesthetic. And what you got to understand is that sprinting is literally the perfect way to get athletic, because for one, it's a full body movement. Okay, this is something that we're gonna go over a bit later on in the video, but understand, everything's getting involved. Neck got to be relaxed, shoulders got to be moving, chest even getting work, abs, your core, your glutes, your legs, your hips, your ankles, knees, everything is getting work. Because of that, you gain a lot of coordination when you start sprinting. So on top of the fact that you're going to be getting faster, on the top of the fact you're going to be getting quicker, you're also going to gain this coordination, because you're able to use your body out all at once efficiently in a manner that gets you results. On top of that too, you're going to improve your agility. So literally, obviously, just the first thing we need to understand about sprinting is that it's just the number one way to get athletic. Speed kills in any arena. I don't care what it is. It could be baseball, it could be football, it could be basketball, it could be boxing, it could be tennis, it could be pickleball, golf. Speed is going to kill in any sense. So the faster you can run, just the more athletic you're going to be as a whole. So that's the first reason. It's literally the number one way to maximize athletics. The next thing that you got to understand about sprinting is it's also the number one way to maximize aesthetics. Have y'all ever seen sprinters? They diced, okay? Freaking V tapered to the maximum. Abs, I'm talking. Crazy shredded legs, shoulders, veins popping. Why? It's because you need to understand something about sprinting. Well, for one, you got to understand this about the human body, is that, look, your body is efficient. Your body is super adaptable as well. And your body's going to adapt to whatever you throw at it. So if you're sitting down all day, if you're just sitting at a freaking desk and typing away all day, your body's not going to give you no energy. Your body's not going to make you into some superstar athlete, because it's like, this nigga don't need it. This nigga is sitting at a desk not doing nothing. He don't need no energy. No. But once you start sprinting, understand, how do you become a good sprinter? By having low body fat and by retaining muscle. Because it's for a specific reason. When you sprint, you're activating your fast twitch muscle fibers, which is all the big muscles on your body. Shoulders, chest, legs, glutes, like all the show muscles. That's where all the fast twitch muscle fibers are, and you're activating that when you sprint. On top of this too, you need to understand is that fat, it's just unnecessary weight. Like, granted, if you were out living in the Antarctic and you needed weight on your body to protect you from the cold, then yeah, fat would be useful, but we're not in those positions. Go get a puffer jacket, okay? Go get a puffer jacket from the store and go to New York or something. You'll be good, my boy. So I said this to say is that, look, your body's going to adapt once you start sprinting. The more you sprint, your body's going to understand, okay, we need to retain these fast twitch muscle fibers and we need to get rid of this fat. So what's going to happen? You're going to have maximum aesthetics, okay? So you're going to get right. You get what I'm saying? Like, seriously, once I started sprinting, it's kind of crazy. Like, my body completely changed. Like, I was always kind of bulky. I still had like a little bit, like that little bit of fat that you still got on you. Yeah, I had that. But like, as soon as I started sprinting, that shit, poof, gone, disappeared. And it was like the only thing I had was muscle on my body. I was like literally a lean ass freaking machine. And like, granted, I've been lifting before, but once I started sprinting, that's what changed the whole game for me. It's like all that fat shredded off my body. All that fat flew off my body. That was some speech dyslexia, but all that fat flew off my body. And yeah, it's literally just gonna get you right. It's gonna get you athletic, and it's gonna get you aesthetic. And then the last thing that's gonna get you as well is longevity. Because understand, when you're running, like I said, you're activating every single muscle part, every single body part in your body. Because that HGH gets activated. HGH, human growth hormone, keeps you younger, gives you more energy, and helps you grow more muscle and retain more muscle. So here's the thing, is that when you start running, you're going to release that HGH, which is going to keep you young, but you also need to understand, it's like we were just talking about with the adaptations. You're signaling to your body that, like, okay, at any moment, we might need to drop on a dime and sprint. We might need to run out of here as fast as possible. We might need to get to top speed and keep going at that speed. So because of that, your body adapts. It's going to keep you young. You know, the issue with a lot of people is that as they age, they stop doing the stuff that they were doing when they were younger. They stop sprinting. They stop going to the gym. They stop just being active and mobile. They start getting confined to their desk. They start hunching over. It's like your body's going to adapt to whatever you throw at it. So if you start sprinting, your body's going to understand, okay, we need to like, you know, act like we're younger. We need to act like we have a lot of energy, because who knows when we're going to have to sprint. You know, you're kind of like tricking the body in a way, but it's just called cheat codes to the game. That's what we do over here, okay? So understand, when you sprint, you're going to get more athletic, you're going to get more aesthetic, and you're going to increase your longevity. Like literally sprinting is like the youth exercise. You want to look young forever, start sprinting. You ever seen older people that sprint? They look good. Simple as that. And real quickly, I just want to take a moment to roast anyone who jogs, because understand, this is not what you get when you jog. When you jog, your body is not activating fast twitch muscle fibers. No, it's activating slow twitch muscle fibers, which don't grow. On top of that too, when you jog, you're essentially telling your body, you know, the adaptation in that way is just telling your body like, look, if we want to run faster, we need to stretch all weight. That includes muscle and that includes fat. So sure, you might get lean, you know, jogging, but you're also going to lose muscle, which is what helps, you know, define your body, because it's, you know, the ability, it's really just the fact that you have muscle and low body fat that actually makes you, know, aesthetic and all that. If you're just losing muscle and you're losing fat, you're just going to be skinny. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's move on to how exactly you can start sprinting the right way. But before we do that, I just want to let y'all know that everything I'm telling y'all about in this video is literally going to be even more in depth, even more in detail in my athletic body program, which is currently on pre-sale for pennies on the dollar right now. Go get it before I double and quadruple the price. I'm going to have modules on training, nutrition, recovery, as well as mindset and lifestyle. I'm going to have bonus modules on how to go D1, how to do backflips, how to do the splits, female athletic body programs, and also my personalized training program. So that if y'all want to train like me, y'all can do that, and it's going to be updated like every month, every 2 months. But anyways, let's move on to how you can start sprinting. So the first thing I want to go over when it comes to sprinting the right way is frequency. So I'm not recommending that you go outside and sprint like every day of the week. That's actually not what I'm recommending at all. Unless you have a track coach who you're specifically training with, and like track is like the number one thing you're doing, don't do that. If you're just trying to get athletic like we're trying to get over here, limit yourself to sprinting to no more than 3 times a week. Ideally, I say 2 times a week. And the reason for that is because you need to understand is that when you're sprinting, you want your body to get faster. That's the whole point. We're trying to go as fast as possible. So if you're going 2 times a week, your body is going to keep getting faster, because understand, you want to go in fresh. You want to make sure that each time you're running, you're hitting new top speeds. You know, you're hitting lower times and whatnot. So that way your body knows, oh, this is the top speed that we need to be at. Your body adapts, okay? If you're going in there and you're tired and you're only running at like 50% capacity and you're not getting the top speed, you're not hitting new times, your body's not going to adapt. Your body's not going to be like, oh, okay, we need to be running at that top speed. It's going to be like, no, we can go easy. We can run at this moderate speed. So you're never really going to get faster. We want to make sure that we go in fresh, and ideally that's going 2 times a week. And each time you go in there, you got to go hard as fuck, okay? You got to make sure that you're giving it your all. You got to make sure that you're running with proper form, which we're going to go over in a moment. But yeah, make sure you're going fresh so that you can hit new top speed, so that your body adapts and rises to that new, you know, top speed, that new, you know, just that new threshold, that new baseline, you know? Now, the next thing we want to go over before we even get into the form, which I'm going to tell you about, we need to go over the warm up. Okay, so the warm up, I see a lot of people just go outside, they just immediately start sprinting. Now, I used to do this too. And look, if you don't want to run as fast as possible, or if you want to be in danger of tearing a muscle or pulling something, by all means, do what you want to do, my God. But for those of us that actually want to get right the right way, I'm going to get us all right the right way real quick. So the first thing you want to start off with is going to be a ground mobility routine. Okay, real quick on the screen, y'all should see something. But this is literally just, you know, loosening up your hips, you know, loosening up your legs, just getting some blood flow going so that, you know, stuff can start getting activated. Your body's like, okay, we're about to go into go mode. So let's get ready to go into go mode. Let's get ready to fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you want to do is do a dynamic warm-up. Okay, so dynamic warm-up, this is essentially just prep for your body. This is like you doing like A skip, doing high knees, doing like karaoke, doing B skips, doing cycles and stuff. This is just telling your body like, look, we're about to run fast, so let's like prep the body by doing the movements that are gonna be important. You know, it's a lot about just striking the ground, hitting the ground hard, because that's how you run fast, is by striking the ground, hitting the ground hard, and propelling yourself forward. So that's what the dynamic warm-up is. It's literally just to prep your body for the full sprints that you're about to do. Next thing you want to do is just do some light plyometric. This is just to activate those fast twitch muscle fibers, stuff like bounds, stuff like broad jumps, stuff like pogos. This is going to get you right. It's going to activate those fast twitch muscle fibers. And then the last part of a warm-up that you want to do is just a couple acceleration sprints. And this is just prep, you know, it works on your start and make sure that you like, you know, that you're going fast before you get into like the real the real sprint work that we're going to talk about. But yeah, make sure you hit a few acceleration sprints just to work on your quickness and whatnot. Because you do that at the beginning, like especially when you're fresh, your quickness is going to be crazy. Because understand, quickness is very important. Like there's some dudes out there that like they might not be able to run fast 100s, but they can run fast 40s. And in most sports, you're generally like, unless you're like literally just running track, you're usually not going to be running like that far or for that long. So if you can just start getting your quickness up, you gonna get right. Like think about it, if you got to run the home base in baseball and you're just quick and you can get there fast, you're gonna be Gucci. In basketball, if you can just like run down the court real quick and block a shot, or you can run down the court real quick and get a free layup, you're gonna be Gucci. When it comes to football too, if you gotta, if you're a DB and you want to stop a 10-yard route, or if you're a wide receiver and you want to run just like quick 20-yard route, again, the quickness is gonna help you in every aspect. So make sure you focus on that acceleration. Now, before we get into the different types of sprints that you can be doing in order to get fast, I want to go over the form real quick, because this is something that a lot of people just look over. A lot of people just don't really focus on form. A lot of people just hear run fast and they try to do everything possible, but like you're not moving efficiently. Look, do stuff the right way and you're going to get the right results that you want. So here's exactly the form that you should be using. Now, first and foremost, we want to strike the ground. And this can often get confused with, high knees, but it's really just striking the ground. The higher your knees can get, the harder you can then strike the ground. So here's the thing when it comes to the form. Just keep it simple as like get your knees high so that you can strike the ground, but the main thing you want to focus on is striking the ground almost like a hammer hitting the ground. The next thing you want to focus on is having stiff ankles. Understand, you want to be running on the balls, like you want to be running on the balls of your feet, like this part of your foot. Because if you're running on the heels, again, there's too much ground contact time, meaning that you're just not going to be running as fast. You're going to be spending too much time on the ground and it's going to slow you down. Think about it. If your foot has to pick up your heel as well as your toe before it can go forward, that's more time and more effort than if it only has to pick your toe up off the ground. So just make sure that you're running with stiff ankles and only running on the balls of your feet. Simple as that. Next thing you want to focus on is just throwing your shoulders back. A lot of people, you hear a lot of like, swinging shoulders forward and whatnot, but really you get the most benefit when you just throw it back, because then your arm will automatically swing forward. So, just throw your shoulder back. Throw that shit back, you know what I'm saying? Throw your shoulder back. So real quickly, I hope I'm not going too fast for y'all, but make sure that you strike the ground by having high knees and then striking the ground. Make sure you're running with stiff ankles, only running on the ball of your feet. Make sure you're throwing your shoulders back. Another thing you want to do is just while you're running, for dudes, I'll put it simple as this. You want to squeeze your nutsack, simple as that. Because when you squeeze your nutsack, you pretty much just engage your core and you engage your glutes. And that's where like all your power for sprinting comes from. Having strong glutes, having a strong core, you're going to be fast. Simple as that. You look at sprinters, these are the muscle groups that are the most well-defined, and it's simply because, these are the muscle groups that get used the most when you're sprinting. And then the last bit too is while you do want to run with power, you do want to run aggressively, you want to run almost violently. That's what my coaches tell me. You also want to understand that you got to combine that with also being a little relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be running fast, but just learn to relax your neck, and that'll actually allow you to go faster. Because if you're running too stiff, you're running like a bodybuilder, you're not going to be going that fast, my guy. So remember that little checklist of form of striking the ground with high knees, keeping stiff ankles, only running on the balls of your feet, throwing your shoulders back, engaging your core and your glutes by squeezing your nutsack. If you're a shorty, then I guess squeeze your coochie or something. I don't know. And then also just relax your neck, and that's going to help you relax and run faster. All right, where were we? My camera just overheated. So anyways, so that's the form. Now the last thing we're going to go over, it's just going to be the different types of sprinting you can do. Okay, so when it comes to, just getting flat out straight line speed, max speed, what you want to be doing is you want to be doing max speed sprints. Okay, so this is where you do about 3 to 4 reps, and it's going to be in the range of about 60 to 100 meters. I guess 50 to 100 meters, you could even say that. And these are just going to be sprints where you're literally just going through the full cycle of sprinting. You're working on your start, working on your acceleration, and then you're getting to top speed and just running as fast as possible with that good form that we just talked about. You do this for about 50 to 100 meters, and that's just going to work on your max speed. This is where you want to give it your all, and this is why you don't want to do too many reps, like we were saying. You want to come in fresh. You want to make sure that each rep that you do is like at your highest possible ability, your highest possible effort, so that way you're actually going to get faster and your body's going to adapt to whatever we throw at it. Because of this, you want to make sure that you're resting about I would say 4 to 6 minutes in between. You can even raise this to possibly 8 minutes depending on how intense it is and how much rest you think you need. But yeah, 4 to 6 minutes, 50 to 100 meter sprints, 3 to 4 reps, that's going to get you Gucci. Next thing we're going to focus on is speed endurance. And it says in the name, this is just for running longer distances. This is 120 to 250 meter, 400 meters, that range, about 100 to 400 meters. This is going to be more speed endurance. And same dealio is just, again, work on that acceleration, you know, that beginning part of just getting out quick. And then after that, you want to focus more on just, you know, maintaining good form for a longer distance of time, a longer period of time. And for these ones, you're definitely going to want to rest longer, about 8 to 10 minutes. So that way, again, you know, we're not going to be doing that many reps, like 3 to 4 reps. And that way, each rep is going to be fresh. Each rep is going to be raising your baseline and raising your threshold and forcing your body to adapt. Now, when it comes to accelerations, this is going to be sprints between the distances of about 10 to 50 meters. And with these, you can do a bit more reps. You can do about like 4 to 6 reps at a time. But, you know, you still want to keep it pretty low because, like we said, we want our bodies to adapt. We want our bodies to actually, you know, get faster and all that. So you're literally just going, you know, do the sprints and whatnot. You're going to rest about, I would say, about 3 to 4 minutes in between each rep. That way you're fresh each time. That way your body's adapting and reaching that new threshold. And yeah, you just want to work on literally just maintaining that good form, but you want to stay lower. That's the whole point with the drive phase and the acceleration phase. Is not like, you know, immediately popping up. That's where a lot of people get it fucked up. In this acceleration phase, you want to stay pretty low, at least for like the first like 20, 30 meters. And yeah, like I already said, it's going to get you right. It's going to get you faster. And then last thing I'll go over is just going to be conditioning, like 3 sets of like 6. So I'll just give y'all something that I used to do. Hey, Brody, can you shut the fuck up, please? So the last thing I want to go over is literally just going to be conditioning. And this is just a different form of sprinting because you're not going to be running at full speed. You're not going to be running at max speed. You know, with the max speeds, the speed endurance, the accelerations, you're running close to 100%. With the conditioning, you're not going to be running at 100% because you're going to be doing way more reps. Like, I'll give y'all a couple examples. Like, there's this one workout I used to do a lot. I would do about 3 to 4 sets of 6 reps of 50-meter sprints. And in between each rep, I would rest about 30 seconds. In between the sets, I would rest about 2 to 3 minutes. And, you know, you're getting a whole bunch of work in a short amount of time. So you're not going to be running at full speed. So ideally with these, you just want to make sure that you maintain good form. And yeah, but obviously you're not going to be going at full speed because if you did that, you'd probably die. I'm not going to lie. And then another workout y'all can do too is going to be the 100-meter conditioning. So that's where you do like the same concept, about 3 to 4 sets of 2 to 4 reps at 100 meters. And then you rest about 1 minute in between reps and like 5 minutes in between sets. And yeah, that shit going to get you right. That shit is going to really like boost your overall endurance and your cardio and whatnot. Like trust me, that shit is not easy, but yeah, it's gonna get you right. Anyways, y'all, I'm yapping a whole bunch over here, so let me wrap up this video. That is pretty much how you start sprinting so that you can actually become more athletic than everyone else and actually get fast and actually sprint the right way. And I really do hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to check out the last video I made about how I embrace living primarily and how you can do it too. And with all that being said, I appreciate you, and I'm out. Dooski.